know it's a little less than an hour before tip-off at Madison Square Garden, but we're still doing a Cavaliers game preview. So tonight at Madison Square Garden, it's a rematch of the opening night matchup between the Cavaliers and the New York Knicks. Cavs are 1-0 against the Knicks, and dating back to last season, the Cavs have won 8 straight against New York. So Carmelo and crew will be looking to turn things around tonight at MSG. Both teams come into tonight coming off wins. New York won last night at Miami, while Cleveland won in Toronto a couple days ago. This could be a potential Eastern Conference semifinal matchup. I don't see the Knicks reaching the Eastern Conference Finals. I think that the Eastern Conference Finals will be a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Finals between the Cavaliers and the Raptors. But getting back to tonight's game, Madison Square Garden just recently hosted UFC 205, which brought big stars Conor McGregor, Tyron Woodley, Eddie Alvarez, Miesha Tate. Well, there's a couple more superstars in Madison Square Garden tonight. Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love. Against the Knicks in his career, according to NBA.com, in 45 games against the Knicks, LeBron James is averaging 27.2 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, and 7 assists. So that's very impressive. I believe he even had a 50-point game at Madison Square Garden against the Knicks. New York acquired Derrick Rose in the offseason in a trade with the Chicago Bulls. Bad news for the Knicks is he might not play tonight due to an injury he suffered last night at Miami. However, the big matchup going into tonight's game, LeBron against Carmelo. Just like when LeBron plays Dwayne Wade, LeBron and Carmelo are very good friends outside of the court. But in between those 4 lines, they are competitors. Carmelo has even said, playing against LeBron brings out the best in him. No, guess how surprised I am about that? Not at all. Because these two are superstars. And finally, Carmelo is getting a team around him that is actually a threat. Because in my opinion, when Carmelo first got traded to the Knicks, he was pretty much a one-man show in New York. Except for when Amare Stoudemire was there. But even with Amare, it seemed like Carmelo always was the top man. Now he has Derrick Rose, but the surprising guy is Kristaps Porzingis. I still remember draft night. The Knicks took him, I believe, with the number 3 overall pick. I might be a little off on that. But when his name was announced, everybody in Barclays Center who was a Knicks fan was booing. Because, well, Knicks fans wanted Justice Winslow or other guys. But Porzingis has proved the doubters wrong. Can he sustain it? We'll just have to see. On opening night, the Cavaliers blew out the Knicks. It wasn't even close. Kyrie put on a show. LeBron put on a show. Tristan Thompson even put on a show. I was at that game, And I made a poster for Tristan Thompson. My poster was, instead of a double A bat, I drew a battery. But instead of calling it a double A battery, I called it a double T battery. You get it? You know, because his name is Tristan Thompson. Anyway, the reason I did that is because Tristan Thompson seems to be the energy provider for the Cavs. He doesn't usually score a ton of points, but he's willing to get the rebounds, go after the loose balls, and do the stuff that not a lot of players want to. During the post-game celebration after Game 7, when interviewed about that, Tristan pretty much summed it up. He said, do your job. And his job is to get in the paint and get the rebounds, keep the other teams off the boards. And he does a good job of it. I expect this to be a good game tonight. But it could turn ugly early. It depends on how both teams play. I will see you for the next Cavs preview when the give me 1 second. They play next. Schedule. I will see you December 8th, which would be tomorrow, to preview the game December 9th when the Cavaliers take on the Miami Heat. This is Wine and Gold Unger signing off.